Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another weekly episode of the FPV Livestream. We've actually created a new website called thefpvlivestream.com where you can go and find all of the information about each of these streams, upcoming streams, the current stream, link dumps, all sorts of good info about everything that we're doing here today. All of the videos, the past videos will stay up there, and all of the next ones and future ones will be posted. We've actually got a backlog of like 5 episodes coming up that I've already posted about, at least a little bit, some hints as to exactly what's going on. So go ahead and go check that site and see if everything looks and just go there for some more information. This week's episode is brought to you by the FPV Race League.com, that's actually supposed to be DerbyCityDrones.com. Well, let me change that. That's really funny. DerbyCityDrones.com. Apparently my audio is out of sync, so I'm going to try to fix that. Audio back in sync now? Should be. DerbyCityDrones.com, so I apologize for that, and that's the wrong logo. But yeah, go check that out. They're hosting the Mega Drone X, a huge FPV racing event. There's going to be people from all the way around the United States there to check that out. And then it's also brought to you by Atmospheric Adventures. This is a drone frame company that I had never really heard much about before, but I went over to their website and I was checking out their stuff, and they make some pretty cool frames. Today, we are building their 3-inch indoor flyer that has a protected cage so that you can fly it around indoors without breaking anything. Again, I'm still getting reports that my audio is out of sync. That's weird. Oh, you know what? I'm on Wi-Fi right now, like an idiot. Let me know if this audio is synced up. Man, nothing but trouble with this. All right, so let's get into it. We are building the Atmospheric Adventures Apollo 2. I think all of the information should be in the link dump below. So let's go ahead and check it out. Here is USB. Okay, so I'm going to put this here so you can kind of see what we're working on. There we go. All right, so this is the frame. It's this little 3-inch frame, so you're going to be mounting your motors on these points here, and there's enough space inside of this cage here to swing a 3-inch prop, and so that's going to protect all of these your props from breaking, your motors from getting dinged up in a crash, and And yeah, so this is going to be fantastic. It's going to be really, really fun indoor flyer, 3-inch, so you could run it on 3-cell or 4-cell. I don't have any batteries right now that are quite the right size for this. I have a 1300 milliamp. I think it'll fly with it. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, so this is a little bit like the Shen Drones Butters. I don't know which one was first, but I think this is going to be pretty fun to fly around. So we've got, let's see. So we've got some extra mounting hardware and stuff. Yep. So it screws and all that stuff. HS1177 camera. Some 3-inch props, some cute little 3-inch props. I've heard that these aren't the best. You're supposed to use the Rotor X props, but these are what I was sent, so that's what we're going to be working with. I believe this is an XSR free sky receiver. This more mounting hardware. We've got 4 Little Bees, because they're 20 amp Little Bees, which is a lot overkill for a small frame like this, but they really are any smaller ESCs are really not that much that much lighter, and they end up usually being more expensive than little Bs. So little Bs usually end up being the best option. We got an FX799T video transmitter, and then just a basic antenna. The motors, let me grab all four here, are DYS Black Edition 1306 3100 kV motors. So these are going to have a little bit more torque to lift the heavy quad, but they're going to be efficient with that. So these will be great motors for this frame. Then some more props. Mounting hardware for the HS1177, and they sent me an Afroflight Rev 5, but I've also got this XSR, and I want to run that in S-Bus, and I don't have a way of inverting it, so I'm actually going to kind of set this aside and use a Flip 32 F3, which will allow us to use S-Bus directly, have an F3 chip, have black box logging, all that fun stuff, without compromising on any kind of performance. So I'm pretty excited about that, and that's what we're going to run. Rotor X, RX, 3040T are the types of props that you should want to use. All right, then finally, let's see, what was the last thing I wanted to say about this? Oh, I want to show you some measurements. So this is the one thing that I'm not totally sure about with this, and it kind of scares me a little bit, but I have not done any durability testing. The width of this frame is less than 2 millimeters. It's about a 1.5 millimeters at most points on the frame. So, you know, we'll see. I don't know if can you see that? We'll see how that holds up, but that's that'll be interesting. It's gonna be, the whole thing is gonna be nice and light, so I hope that everything goes well with it. Wit Spy says Woot F3. He is the curator of Ready to Fly quads, where you get the Flip 32 F3 board. Daniel asks, does anybody know the price for this kit? This frame, I believe, is about $80. But you know, it comes with all of the mounting hardware, fully cut carbon, all that stuff. And the electronics are probably in the $200 to $300 range, depending on what you buy. So, yeah, so I've never built this one before. So it might be a bit of a learning process here together that we'll go through. My place to start is almost always the power distribution board, so let's pull that out. Let us see. Now, there is no power regulation built into this board, it looks like. So that is a little bit frustrating. I don't see, I'm looking for a Polulu, but I'm not seeing one right off. Let me double check that I don't have one somewhere. Okay, I've got something that'll work. So the idea with this power distribution board is that you'll be able to take your Polulu or your 5-volt Polulu voltage regulator, which will take it down from 12 or 14 volts down to a manageable 5 volts. But apparently this guy, I think there was maybe a miscommunication. We forgot to send a Polulu, but that's okay. We can make that work. I've got this. Sorry. I've got a Ready to Fly 5-volt Beck that we can use to bypass these potential issues. So not a big deal whatsoever. It's always good to have some 5-volt Becks around. So this will take up to 4S, it looks like. So we should be good on that front. Okay, so let's get some mounting hardware on here and get this thing rolling. All right, so my way of doing mounting is to put a screw all the way through the bottom. Let's see, is there a top or bottom to this, you think? Yeah, both sides look fine. Is to put a screw all the way up through the bottom. Sorry. Drop a nut on top of that. Don't bust a nut, drop a nut. And then that will leave enough room to put the power distribution board on top. And then screw... No, maybe not. Okay, I need to use a longer nut. Yeah, it is 1.5 millimeters, according to my calipers. So we'll see how it holds up in crashes and stuff. I don't know anything yet, I've not flown it, so I can't make any judgments. Okay, I got some longer screws here. In the meantime, if you guys wouldn't mind sharing this video a couple places, if you're at all interested, if you like the live stream and stuff, I'd love to see it continue to grow. And we can only do that by using the community to kind of help spread the word. So if you're at all interested in posting it to Facebook somewhere or Reddit or whatever, I would love to have you do that. If that is stupid and you don't want to, don't. That's fine. I totally get it. I sometimes am adverse to it. But yeah, I would love to see you guys do that. In the meantime, let's get this power distribution board hooked up. That was pretty shameless, I know, but sometimes you gotta do that. Hello, Quad Diehards. Awesome to have some peeps to have in the background as we test and pack orders. So it sounds like WitSpy is packing some orders up for shipping. So if you guys order any goodies, you're going to get it soon. So yeah, I'm just putting mounting hardware on here. Sorry, it's not very exciting. Gosh, I put it on the wrong hole already. That's funny. Is the stream a little bit better synced this week? I'm gonna go ahead and close out Slack here. You're probably hearing it. You guys have any questions while we're doing something boring? I gotta get some like background music or something that's free source, whatever, so that we can have it playing in the background. Calvin Pewitt, this is the first live stream I've seen, so it is growing. Good. Welcome. Glad you're here. Oh, I forgot to do my spiel at the beginning. If you are a new person, welcome. I'm so glad that you are here to check it out. This live stream has kind of been slowly growing over the last couple months, just as a resource for new builders to kind of learn how to assemble their quad. I'm actually considering spending setting up a second stream per week that's actually totally focused on interviews. So talking to pro pilots, talking to event coordinators and vendors and stuff like that, just to kind of get their opinions and hear and talk and just continue to grow the industry from a professional standpoint as well as a hobby standpoint. On Tuesday we had a chance to talk to Team Big Whoop about how to become faster, because they're some of the fastest pilots in the world. It's just a great opportunity to kind of get people in front of the best people in the world and kind of ask them questions and learn from them and stuff. So that's something that's in the pipeline we're thinking about. we're thinking about starting that second episode a week. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, let me know, and that will definitely help encourage me to actually get my butt off the ground and do it. Sorry, I gotta turn off my phone. It's vibrating. Okay, so I'm gonna put the power distribution board on. So the reason that I do that way is that now there is just a tiny sliver of room between the power distribution board and the ground without compromising any space. So this makes for a lot cleaner, lower, easier to access build, and I just like that a lot. So I'm gonna put some more hardware on top of that just to keep it in place. We'll give ourselves pretty tall ones so that everything should be good. Okay, sharing. Should I use Papa Nut as a tag? Not in this kind of live stream. Should I get a Tyrannus as a beginner? Yes, you should. If you have any intention of continuing to do FPV, the Tyrannus is the thing for you. This is really cool. Me and my dad are new to quads, so having you go through this live is the shit. Keep it up, man. Thank you again. Awesome. I'm so glad that you guys are watching and that this is helpful to you. I have a blast doing it, and it's even better when other people get to benefit from it. You know what? I don't like these ones. They're too tall. Oh my god, purple props are on the way, proven to make your quad fly faster. Consequently, oh my god is probably my favorite part about Rotor Riot right now. I think he was a perfect choice to be a host of Rotor Riot. And is just kind of, I think he is definitely my favorite part of the show. I had not really known about him much before, but now I am totally in love with him. I hope to meet him sometime soon. Trauma Factor asks me to pronounce my last name. It is Nurkala. Daniel Canham asks, "What's the favorite tool on your workbench?" Definitely my soldering iron. I don't have a great soldering iron, but I love my iron. Works great for everything that I need it to do, and that's all you can ask of it. All right. So that's that. Where's my flip? So now we'll have the flight controller mount up here, probably like this. And that'll be a nice compact amount of room there in the middle. Great. Love it. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is test out this Beck and make sure that it's giving power the way I want it to. So I guess what I'll do is just kind of stick it off the back here like this. No. Can I get it underneath? No. Could I do it like this? Ha ha. Sorry, I'm smelling something. I don't know what it is. It's not electronic. Is that the F3 flip? Yes. Hey, Paul, the flip is confusing at first to wire the X4R to. I've got it. I've already done one, so I know how it works. I've just ordered my FPV gear today. Any first-timer tips? Don't be afraid to crash. What are the best props for a 5-inch quad? My current favorites are Gemfan 5045 Bullnose. They just seem like they're a good balance between they will break so that they don't damage your motors. Wit Spy, what milliamp or how much current can these Pololus or Becks do? So I guess we'll do it like that. I don't have many options. So I'm gonna use one of my other favorite tools, Velcro. Hello from Norway. Love your channel. Keep up the content and interviews are great. Welcome from the other side of the world. Go to bed. You are up way too late. Just kidding. I'm glad you're here. All right. So I'm going to put the male Velcro on the face of this thing. can never get the plastic off the back. $500 milliamp. Okay, so it is 1.5 amps, so we should be fine with all of the electronics that we're going to run on it, which is really just a camera and a flight controller for now. I might add an OSD in later, depending on what FPV or Derby City Drones wants. But for now, we'll just do this. Sorry. I should have done some of this ahead of time so you don't have to sit here watching me struggle with Velcro like a tard. My goodness. There we go. Okay. And so then just on the back of this Polulu, drop the Velcro. Okay, so 5 volt in is on this side, 5 volt out is on the other. Just drop it on there like that. Well, that's not going to go anywhere, and if we ever need to get it off, we can get it off real easy. Okay. Actually, we could probably have just put that... What if we just put it right here? I mean, why not? Yeah, look at that. That's better. Okay, let's solder this bad boy up. So we need LiPo in on this side, 5 volt out on that side. So let's get some wire. Why Velcro instead of double-sided 3M tape? Because I like Velcro and I have it. Okay, so I'm just stripping back some wire to use. And then we gotta tin this pad up. So we'll use this pad here. I'm just adding a lot of solder to it so that it's easy to work with. And then I need to tin the ends of my wires here. So I'm just adding a little bit of solder to the wire so that it makes the connection more easily. I'm also going to tin the pads of the back. Okay. Another nice tool to have is a Paul just shared a link of this build on my pages and on Twitter. Thank you so much, PropWash. I appreciate it. So we will go into the positive here. And the negative or ground there. Now I can trim these back a little bit. They don't need to be quite as long as I made them. So it looks like we can cut this one to here. And this one needs to be a little bit longer, so we'll go there. Strip off a little bit more wire, or sleeving. Can be a struggle sometimes. What brand of Beck is that? Just hopped in and it looks nice. It is from readytoflyquads.com. Should I switch out my Emax ESCs with ZMT Spider 18 amps? You should go for Little B's or for XM20s instead of either of those options. Okay. Gonna drop positive on there and the negative on there. Okay. So now we should have 5 volts on these pads. We got positive to positive, negative to negative. We need to put our battery lead on. So let's do that before we get too far. So I like to go out the side with my battery straps for some reason, or my battery leads. And I like to kind of wrap up like this usually. So let me make sure that that will work with this frame, because it's a little bit of a different shape from anything that I've worked with before. Gotta find the top plate. There it is. Okay. So that probably won't work. So we're gonna need to come out the back, it looks like, for this. And I've put that power distribution board on backwards then. So let's turn this around real quick. Yeah, also available are the Multirotor Mania Zeus 20 amp ESCs. But there are tons of options out there, so you just kind of shop around based on your needs, your stock, your shipping speeds, your shipping prices. I mean, everything around there is what you need. I say Polulu often. So somebody says, I took a second look, I assumed it's because that's a Polulu because it's a... He said Polulu. I say Polulu in exchange for Beck often. Polulu is a brand of Beck's, and so I kind of screw that up once in a while. So this is a 5-volt regulator from Ready to Fly Quads. All right, so I'm hooking up the positive battery lead right now. And now the negative. All right, that's nice and locked in. So now when the top bit is on, this cord will come through there, or I mean even just right out the back, whatever needs to happen. I think for future reference we might want to use a XT30 instead, because we don't need as much current to support this frame. But I think this will be a good place to start. Sorry, let me get rid of my tea bag here. There's a trash can down there, I promise. Okay, so I like to test out my Becks right away just to make sure that everything is hunky-dory and that we're getting the power that we expect. So I'm going to grab my battery here. What temp do you have your iron at? The hottest setting? It doesn't have an actual temperature control. It's just a little $40 iron Weller that I got off of Amazon. So this battery currently has 11.5 volts. Plug it in. Hopefully there's no smoke. No smoke. We're good. Check this. And we're getting exactly 5 volts. So that's great. Good little Beck. So polarity is right. We've got everything hooked up right. We have no smoke. We can power our flight controller or whatever off of that. So we're good. That's going to be great. Let us mount some motors now. How about? I like motors. Oh gosh. I might need help remembering the proper orientation. So if this is the front and this motor spins in, then we want this motor here. So because this loosens this way, this loosens going this way, and if the motor is spinning this way, that's intentionally no. Is it this side? If the motor is spinning this way and this loosens this way, yeah, okay. So we want this to be the opposite. So this one will go there. Let me get all these out. Let's just mount them one at a time here. Need a different tool. So these look like they're M1 screws, which I actually have misplaced one of my original screwdrivers for. These are DYS 3100 KVs. Oh wait, maybe they're... Yeah, okay. So I'm just mounting these motors up, making sure that we're not touching windings. This actually looks pretty close in there. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I'm just going to do 2 on each of these for now. Hi, Paul. Do you ever do any scratch building? I'm up late working on my composite sandwich frame. Got tired of sanding mismatched core materials, so I'll watch you tightening screws instead. I understand the feeling. Hold the nut steady and spin the motor the way it does in CF. Are you going to maiden this thing tonight? Probably. You think that's the wrong side unless the silver is counterclockwise. Do I have it backwards? I might. Do I want it to loosen when I spin it? No. Okay, yeah, this is backwards. Jeez. I've already gotten 2 things backwards. Let's see how many we can get backwards today. I went for a run right before this because I just desperately needed to. Because I've had super stressful couple days at work, which is fine. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy. But I just needed that break. But for some reason when I run and I don't take a shower right away, it's a short run, don't worry. I just continue to sweat. So I apologize for that. Golly. Okay, there we go. So that motor is on the correct side of the quad now. I'll loosen this so I can get the other screw in there. Yeah, feel free to ask any questions and stuff. This is a big... I only ran a short run for me is a 5K. I only ran a mile because I didn't have any time today. I just needed to get out and move a little bit. Yeah, I am probably smelling myself a little bit. Shouldn't be too bad. These are DYS 3100 kV 1306 motors. Okay, there we go. Finally got one motor on. It's gonna be a long build tonight. This guy can't even put his motors on right. Motor. What's everybody working on tonight? Okay, 2 motors. Where's another motor? I promise the majority of this build won't be this boring. Last name first. 44 says, hi, Bulba Fett. How's it going, Kenny? Good to have you here. Kenny's drinking. Wish I was. Start tomorrow. I will be drinking. Building a Drone Wolf pup 5-inch. Tell me about the Drone Wolf. How do you like it? I am craving a Drone Wolf pup build. I think it's a super, super sexy looking quad. And it seems like it would be durable, nice X shape. It's not quite true X though, which kind of makes me frustrated, but it looks real good. Got a guy working on liftoff maps, it looks like. Motors are in the right spots now. Yeah, thanks, jerk. I got a 10-channel mod into my fly sky, and then I built my new racer frame. What's your new racer frame? Building my car design from last night's hangouts in clay with no modeling experience. So you're building something out of clay? Is that, do I understand that right? It's cool. It looks cool. It's not a true X, but it is very stiff. What's the weight without any electronics on it? What's the weight of just the frame? Swapping out a blown VTX. I did that today. Why can the connections not be the same on these? What screws do you use for holding the motors? These motors use M1, or, well, here, you can read that. It says M2 5mm, which I thought these were M1s, but I guess I misunderstood what an M1 is. I'm just kidding, Drone. Droney Hawk. Just kidding. I think the top plate will break in a hard front impact. Well, I mean, if you think about it, most everything will break in a hard front impact. So that's tit for tat. All right, there we go. 4 motors on, and now we have so much wiring we don't even know what to do with ourselves. I'm just gonna cut these down right now. Not perfectly to the length that we'll need, but I know we're not gonna need that much. It's kind of satisfying, actually. Stream working well still? Oh, Chris, I thought you were talking about the drone pup. Sorry. I put my first purchase in for some real equipment about a week and a half ago. I've gotten everything except the quad and TX. Batteries, SIM cable, goggles, everything but the quad and TX is in customs. That sucks. Sorry, man. You'll get it soon. You're doing an FPV tour this June. Where are you going? Are you coming here? You gonna stop by? Say hi? All right, let's get our little bees out here. Is that a Polulu in the center? Yes, it is. Well, it's not a Polulu. It's a 5-volt BEC from Ready to Fly quads. Look at all those. I just love ESCs. They're just like nice, attractive pieces of hardware. All right, let me cut some of this heat shrink off. Don't need this much. Hey, from Louisville, Kentucky, I hope to see a video from the Mega Cavern race here. I will be posting plenty. Apple Eye is stopping by. Awesome. All right, we don't need these motor wires. So So we'll just knock those guys off. Awesome, I can't wait to have you. You're welcome to crash here if you want. So that's pretty tight in there. So I'm just going to kind of go outside like that and come back around, which means we probably have just about the right length already. So let's add some Velcro. Yeah, I cut them too short to go over the ESC. That would have been a good idea. I thought about it like as I was cutting the last one, but that's okay. We can make do. So what we should have done, instead of cutting these wires ahead of time hastily like I did, was cut them long enough that you can actually go under and fold over and come back across the top. And that way you can keep the motor wires a little bit longer and not have to cut them super short, which is potentially dangerous. Not dangerous, but if you ever want to use these electronics on something else, they won't be long enough to be able to transport to something else very easily. But, like I said, for the purposes of this, we will be A-okay. Do you think the added weight will upset yaw authority? I guess I haven't thought about it, but I don't really think so. But I'm also not somebody who I don't really like using much yaw. I actually have my rates for yaw pretty low, personally. So not having a lot of yaw authority does not bother me much. But I understand your potential concern. So I will watch out for it when I fly it. And report back with videos. Okay, so I've got the Velcro for the little B. A little bit more than we need. Whew! Saved it. Let's strip off some of this. Hi, nice build you got going on. You should do a live stream of one of the Apollo Lexan frames one day and make it a night flyer with the owl camera. That actually sounds pretty awesome. Send an email to Atmospheric Adventures and tell them to send me some. All right. So I'm tinning up the wires for the motor. I'm just, yeah, it makes it easier. And then I always like to put a little bit of my own solder onto the pads of the ESC so that I get some good solder that I know I trust, so that I don't have any potential cold solder joints. So once this thing is closed up, I don't want to have to pull it open again because it's, that's the idea, is that it doesn't go anywhere. It's safe, it's sturdy, it's not going to break apart. It's going to be good. Dang it. Struggling to find the right angle to grab this with. There we go. Just folding these out of the way for now. So those could probably have been a little bit shorter, but I want to keep them long in case, you know, we need to go back and change something. It's just nice. What's your thoughts on adding capacitance with the little bees? I think it's a very good step to take. I've not done it once, and it's bit me in the butt. I've destroyed a VTX because of it. But it was a very extreme situation that caused that problem, so... Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is run this wire straight there, and run the positive around like it is now. And that will be the cleanest way to set this up. Really don't need much on the ground wire at all. We'll give ourselves some extra just in case. Sorry, I keep bumping the camera. It's a little annoying, I'm sure. All right, I'm tinning the ESC power lines, and then I'm going to tin the pads. There we go. Okay. I'm going to run this power line all the way around like that. And then the ground like that. Now there's a wired system. I'll add a little bit of electrical tape when we're done. We've got all the motor directions right and stuff. But that's not a... I think that'll turn out really well. What do you guys think? Comments, questions, concerns, frustrations about that? I think that'll work great. Tin up these pads here while I'm working on it. All right, next little bee. But so yeah, those of you that are here, what have you thought so far about the interview style live streams? Do you like those? Are they useful to you? I've got kind of both ends of the spectrum in terms of response on it, so I'm kind of trying to decide if I'm going to go forward with that. Yeah. Tinning up the motor wires. Gotta grab some more Velcro. Yeah, I'd rather see it as a podcast to protect my data. Kyle Bento, every single interview so far has been also uploaded to Dropbox as audio only, so you can download it as a podcast. I liked them, enjoyed it. +1 on the Big Whoop. I loved it. So good. I guess you guys liked that. So I will continue to search for opportunities to do that. It's a little bit more work to kind of like coordinate with other humans who have other schedules, and but I'll find a way to make it work well. I learned more from the Big Whoop interview than I have in a long time. I can't implement it, but I've learned it. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I really liked that interview. I learned a ton in it too, and I haven't had a chance to go out and fly much yet, but I will be practicing a lot of the things that they talked about myself. All right, first thing is to add a little bit of our own solder. All right, that one's ready. I'm going to move this off for a second. Okay, so positive is going out to this one, so we don't need much wire at all. Ugh, that's going to be a pain. And that's why we use Velcro right there. Okay. And then the negative one doesn't need to be very long either. Okay. I really like the podcast form. I like watching a build, but listening to a podcast while driving is really nice. So yeah, that's why I upload the audio version as well. Let's get you and Joshua Bardwell together. Yeah, that would be awesome. I love Joshua. I watch every single video he puts out, except for maybe some of the. I can only watch so many black box analysis ones, but he's a smart guy, and I've learned more from him, that individual, than any other individual in the community. So he's just killing it. Get out of the way. All right, ESC number 2. Him and Oscar Liang, yeah, absolutely. Just saw Joshua Bardwell's video about you and your 1 pack per spot. Pretty cool. Shout out. Yeah, that made my day. I was beaming all day long. It was so cool. Yeah, Oscar Liang as well. Very, very smart individuals. I want to get Boris B on an interview. That would be sweet. Could learn so much from him. All right, just cleaning up another ESC. Paul, what are you putting a KISS FC on? I'm putting a KISS FC on this. My multirotor Mania Scythe. Super excited about it. But I'm waiting on my Emax red bottoms before I do it. So hopefully this weekend. If I could build that thing this weekend and fly it around a little bit, my life would be complete. But I have my doubts. Okay, get rid of these motor wires. Using the KISS 24 amp. I'm actually going to be using Little B on it for now. And then I have some projects in the works for ESCs on that. But they won't be KISS, I'll tell you that. KISS are too expensive for my blood. Great choice on that frame. I like that frame. Yeah, I'm super excited about the frame. My red bottoms are the 2300 kVs. I want this to be a 6-inch capable build, and the 2600s would not work for 6-inch very well. It would just eat batteries alive. Yeah, I've read they eat bats on aggressive 5s and 6 would be real though, rough. Yeah, so I would. Too bad it broke. What happened to your scythe? Yeah, I think that would be perfect for a 5x4x3 prop. But anything more aggressive than that is going to be over propping it, I think. Oh, I forgot to add my own solder. But yeah, 2600 kV is just asking for trouble. It could be awesome, but not on aggressive props. Okay. Broke right at the motor mount. Wasn't a hard crash too. It's a dream to build though. Huh. That's too bad. Sorry to hear that. And you had the 3mm version, I assume, because I don't think the 4mm version is out yet. I know that Multirotor Mania is working to fix that issue, because it's just a weird spot for it to break on that big square frame. But I know that they've got a couple solutions in the pipeline for it. So I'll do my best to break it, and if I do, then hopefully I can help in the feedback process. That's what this is all about, right? Helping each other be better at something fun. Have you had a chance to play with the Shen Drone's butters? No, and it just seemed too heavy for me, but so we'll see. Three done. One to go. It's looking pretty good so far. Positive, positive, negative, negative. Negative to negative, positive to positive, positive to positive, negative to negative. Okay, so far so good. Okay, final ESC. I'm gonna go ahead and just strip down these ones. My butters turned out to be around 325 grams. That's pretty heavy, actually. Do you run that on 3-cell or 4-cell? Ugh. Heat shrink is both nice and obnoxious at the same time. Taking off the motor lines. Who made that up? Paul. Made what up? 854S. Huh. I mean, I watched your videos of it flying G2HO, and I mean, it flies great. I'm impressed. I would love to fly that around indoors or really, really tight locations. Yeah, Bento. Who made what up now? Sorry. Oh, I actually don't know who made the FAA message on Slack. Yeah, come check out fpv-chat.com. It's a growing community on a Slack group where you can just log in and chat with. We're over 400 people now from around the world, literally, to just jump in and ask questions, get help, hang out. I think just about every night there's some people that are all chilling in a Google Hangouts, so you can video chat and get help with things, or ask for advice, give advice, post your videos, plug your YouTube channel, whatever you want to do. It is there as an asset to the FPV community, and so I encourage you to join in. I'm there every day, probably too much actually. I don't tell my boss about it, but yeah, it's fun. So if you haven't already checked it out, do so. You will not regret it. fpv-chat.com. Gotta add my own solder. Keep forgetting to do that. Wait, Hangouts is still going? Have you guys seen Blab? It is still going. I don't know what Blab is. Yeah, the Hangouts is the FPVHangout.com, I believe. Yeah, there's usually 4 to 5 people in there just about every night, shooting the shit, building drones, playing liftoff, whatever. I go in there occasionally. I'm often fairly busy at night, or am just so tired I can't even think straight. Because night is my time to be antisocial most nights of the week. There we go. 4 ESCs, 4 motors all wired up to the power distribution board. There you go. That's looking pretty good so far. Nice and compact. I like that. The electronics actually look pretty good the way they are. Let me get these out of the way. So yeah, that's that so far. Sorry. All right. What's next? Okay. So we need to hook up our flight controller to the ESCs and do a receiver, and then we might be able to do a hover test with the with a 1300 milliamp battery. So that's that might be interesting. Since it is already pretty late, I might not do the FPV system tonight, and maybe do like a weekend live stream of flying this thing around, because I could do that pretty easily, and because I got a pretty big day tomorrow. But so let's get this flying. We'll get it hovering here. I'll add FPV offline, or maybe on a Saturday stream or something like that. And I'll live stream some flying once I get some batteries that are the right size. Good night, Kyle. What size motors are these? They are DYS 1306 3100 kV motors. Okay. Now, we've got our Flip 32 F3. I think I'm going to be lazy with this one, and instead of doing it underneath, so what I normally do is wire up everything underneath the board and then flip it over, and then the board is nice and clean. But I think I'm going to just wire it straight to the top this time, because this is going to be a tighter build and I just need a little bit more room to work with. So I'm going to just wire it straight to the top. A weekend live stream would be awesome. Yeah, I'll probably I'll keep you posted. It's gonna be I've got a lot to do this weekend, so we'll see if I get around to it. I hope I will. I've done it once before, and it was a lot of fun. Like, I was actually just flying an XBR around my house, which was great. Boo, I came for the FPV install. If you don't know how to install FPV, then go back to my previous stream and check it out. Okay. So I'm just going to use this thing to hold it on top. Make sure it stays nice and locked in. Well, I'll do it while you wait for me to wake up on Saturday. Yeah, Hyph and I are going to hang out this weekend and get some secret projects starting. So be pumped for that. I'll pull something up here. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I always forget this. I'm an idiot. Yeah, okay. I always just need to double check just to make sure. Sweet coffee cup bro, thank you. What are you doing with that signal wire tied to the motor? Just remembering where it is. Okay, so I need to start with this one because this is 1. And then, wait, which one is PWM1? Okay. So this is PWM1 on this side over here. So I'm going to just cut this guy off here, strip it down just a little bit. I'm going to tin up all these pads here. How is the power getting from the PDB to the flight controller? I haven't done that yet. That is a good point, though. I will need to do that. Let's, I guess we could install that wire while we're working on it. Okay. So I need to put 5 volt. So this will run from the back to the flight controller to power it. Okay. Actually, you know what? These wires are too big. I'm going to take that off. Let's see. I need some smaller ones. Wait, I just cut one, didn't I? This one looks good. Okay, and need a skinnier red wire. I don't think that one's gonna be long enough. That looks pretty good. Okay, let's do motor 2 now, which is this one. So I can unwrap this now. I'll put this back through under. Run it to there and cut it off right there. Trim off just a teeny bit. Just a very teeny bit. We'll strip back here with this. And then put that on PWM out 2. Okay. 2 done, 2 to go. Okay, this is 3. So I just need it to go to right there. So we'll cut it there. Got it. PWM3. Did I really screw that up? Oh my goodness, you're right. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what I did was looked at it too fast, and so what's happened is that this is ground, this is power, this is PWM 1, 2, 3, 4. Thanks for catching that. That would have been an explosive experience. I don't know why I forgot about that. Hopefully I didn't cut these wires too short to fix that. Actually, we should be all right. So this is PWM 1. Trying to make sure I've got the right wire here. Gosh. Okay, this is 2. This is 3. And that is just you're wiring up those motors to the receiver pads. I am not wiring these to the receiver pads. There's a little in this particular batch of F3 or Flip 32 F3s. This is the pins are actually reversed right now. That's going to be fixed shortly, but this is the correct wiring for this batch of Flip 32 F3s. Okay. PWM's hooked up. Now we'll go through our grounds. Is there anything tricky with the ground? Okay, so if we look at this, these are different channels, and we've got ground on the outside most pad, according to this. So these should all be grounds. This right here is the S-bus row, so I'm going to put it in 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. I might as well just go in the right order here. So this is 1 right there. run this under and through. Got sausages for fingers. So tweezers are very helpful. But you know what they say about a guy with big hands? Big mittens. All this soldering is making me want to do the same. Good night. Have fun. Yeah, it is a little bit late. Sorry. Well, Paul, I've got to work in the morning, so I'm off to bed. I look forward to watching the rest tomorrow. Good night. Good night. Thanks for coming. Okay, this one's 2. This one's 3. I'm staying for the magic smoke, yeah. Come for the magic smoke, stay for the build. Yep, there's always a chance for magic smoke when you're doing live building. Has the potential to be quite hilarious. Luckily I've got extras of everything except for these motors. Actually, I don't have any other 3-inch props. I literally have 4 props, so this is the right frame for that. Come on. Jeez. There we go. Okay. That's all of the ESC grounds. And now, the last thing we need to do for this is to give the flight controller power, which we can do by means of these pins over here, both voltage and ground. I'm going to use the last 2 right here because I will never use 8 motors on this. And so we can just wire the positive into the ground, or the voltage and the ground into the ground, and that will power up the flight controller for us. Also, Lucky Meat, thanks for the confidence in my building ability. Really appreciate that. Means a lot. Jerk. Okie doke. So, all of the motors are fully connected now. The flight controller should have power. And the only thing that we need now to fly this is actually a receiver. But before we go too far, I'm going to do the motor testing and get all of that working. So I've got a 3-cell battery here. This is the time that you will want to tune in for the magic smoke. The pro tip for any newer builders out there is that the first time you power up your quad, no matter what you've done when you're building, is actually point a phone at it and record it. Like, literally just point your phone at the quad, record, and you can see if smoke comes from any particular electronic. You can kind of go back in time and see, okay, it was this thing. Yeah, it would be great. If you could fly a 3-blade or 2-blade prop, no matter the cost, what type would you fly? I hate to buy into the hype, but the HQ 5x4x3s are definitely my favorite to fly. I hate to say that, but that's true. But that would only be for freestyle. If I was like doing racing or something like that, I would still probably fly the Gem Fan 5045 bullnose prop. I have not tried 4 blades. Separate Beck. Yes, there is a separate Beck that I stacked on top of the power distribution board. I don't know if we'll be able to see it. You can kind of see it in there. But the Flip 32 FC does not have a built-in voltage regulator. All right, so I'm not going to be recording this with my phone because I have you guys and I have this all recording on the stream and stuff. So here goes nothing. Prepare yourselves. Well, okay, let's double check our wiring here one more time. Okay, so our Polulu has positive to flight controller positive, ground to flight controller ground. All of our signal are clean. They're not interfering with one another. The ground are all clean. And I've already checked the ESC ones while we were going. And those are all looking great. So we should be good. There should not be any magic smoke. And we should be fine. So let's give it a shot. 3, 2, 1. I get excited every time there isn't magic smoke when I power up. Woo! We're good. Okay. Now let's hook this baby up to clean flight and check motor direction. Clean flight. Okay, that is clean flight. We are connected. Do you guys want to see clean flight? Do you care? I'm going to the motors tab. I am now going to plug in the battery. Again, going to ARM motors. I'm going to test motor 1. Okay, we got one motor. And that one is spinning the correct direction. So it's supposed to be spinning this way, and it is. So motor 2. That's the right one. And it needs to be reversed from the way it is. So when I get to this stage in the build, I just draw a diagram. It's a weird quad. I need to reverse this one. This one is good. Number 3 should be the back left, closest to me. Oh, I unplugged my battery. Just kidding. Battery. Number 3. That's really vibrating. It's weird. But that one is spinning the wrong direction. So we need to do that one. And finally, motor number 4. Is spinning the correct direction. So we just have to reverse 2. Yeah, that thing was really rocking around in there. I don't know why that was. Okay. That one's good. Alright, so this one we gotta reverse. So the way to reverse motors is to swap any 2 cables between the motor and the ESC. You could also do it through BL Heli, but that honestly is more work than just swapping some wires around when you've got the build exposed like this. So might as well just, real quick, solder some new things on and be done with it. Not fiddle around with the confusing, frustrating BL Heli software, which is amazing, but it takes some getting used to. Good work, Paul. Have a good night. You have a good night as well. Thanks for stopping by. And we didn't lose the feed. That's funny. Cheryl asks, what kind of flying location do you like the most? I really like trees that have lots of like V's in them, where you can kind of do some acrobatic maneuvers through the tops of trees and through stuff with vertical points in it. That usually ends up being my favorite. All right, motors. I understand. And throttle up. That one's going the right way. That one is going the right way. That one's going the right way. That one's going the right way. We're good. All right, next step, receiver. Where is your favorite place to fly? There's a spot maybe 15 minutes from my house that has it has everything, like really tight spaces, really open spaces, man-made things, trees, brush. and then some of those trees with V's in them that you can kind of have a blast with. All right, let's put some electrical tape on these ESCs to get them a little bit cleaner and out of the way. Gotta find my electrical tape. Should be here somewhere. There it is. It's staring me right in the face. I did a video that was taken mostly in my favorite spot called Winter Reprieve. If you go back through my channel, you can see what that spot is like. Yeah, Drone Rental Supply Media is here. They run an awesome podcast that you should go check out. They are sister companies with Derby City Drones, who is sponsoring this build. But yeah, you should absolutely go check that out and listen to the podcast and check out their page. They do a lot of reviews. And then again, of course, Derby City Drones is sponsoring the Mega Drone X race, or they're putting it together rather. Atmospheric Adventures, who makes this frame, is sponsoring, or is a high level sponsor of the Mega Caverns race. So that's kind of that how all of those connections come in. Statio Cost 1. I flew 7 packs today, no crashes, not even a broken prop. I feel like a failure. I mean, yeah, breaking props is important. If you're not breaking stuff, you're not pushing it hard enough, right? I flew 4 packs today. I think I broke 4 props. But they were all stupid mistakes, not me learning something mistakes. So that was kind of a bummer. And they were expensive props too. Okay, look at that. That's looking so good. I am a fan so far. I might have to look at getting myself one of these. If it holds up, I'm worried about how durable it'll be. But we'll see. I'll fly it a bunch and let you know. I have high hopes. Okay. Receiver. Where is my receiver? There it is. Drone rental supply. This is indeed an XSR, right? Thank you. Okay, so we need S-bus, power, ground. So I need this cable and these two. And I don't want to take these off, so I'm just gonna wrap them, I guess. No, I don't want to wrap. I am not keeping this one, unfortunately. This is going back to Drone Rental Supply, who sponsored the build. This is actually Colin from RCUC. I had to use my mom's account because I can't log in right now. Okay. I flew with some 50-45 tries today. Elvon is awesome. We used the multi-Wii via Wii Motion Gyro wired to Arduino Nano. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I will. Sorry, almost there. I love electrical tape too much. I'd probably get in trouble using it too much. Okay, I should be able to see the bind LEDs still, so that's fine, and I can still get the button, so we're good. Okay, I'm going to put this on the back here underneath the battery lead because the antennas will still be able to go up to the top. And for that, I will need some Velcro. You can get all of this Velcro from Lowe's. It's like industrial strength stuff for like, oh no, for I don't know, $10 for a big pack of it. I'm sure you could get a better deal online somewhere, but if you're in a rush like I usually am, Lowe's for $10 is just fine. Hello from California. Hello from Indiana. Cornfield, Indiana. Just gotta make sure we've got enough room to get that standoff in there. And we don't. Darn it. Guess we'll go that way. That should work, right? I guess we'll just go up on top like that. Excuse me. All right, I'm tinning the wires on the XSR. And I'm tinning the pads for S-Bus. I'm in Illinois. What motors are those? They are DYS 3100 or 1306 3100 kV motors. Where in Illinois? That's not very far from me. Jeez. Just one of those days where your fingers won't cooperate. Okay. Receiver hooked up. So what I'm gonna do is just Velcro it to the top like that. So that's fine. That's all it needs. But I gotta cut some more because I used it on the butt there. Wheaton. Oh, okay. That's a little bit further. Are you gonna do any of the Go Drone X races? The all of the parts should be in the build description or the video description. Maybe I forgot to put those in there. I hope not. Okay. That there is a receiver. Never actually checked the standoff size. Hopefully we have enough room. Oh yeah, plenty. How much is that frame? I think it was like $80. I'm not totally sure. I'm going to try to do a few of the Go Drone X races. They're amazingly well run. Like, if you didn't do any other race ever in your entire life, do a Go Drone X race. I enjoy them very much. Diviner Greg does a great job of running those events. All right, let's make sure this receiver powers up. Yep. Okay. Where's my Tyrannus? So I'm going to bind it to the Tyrannus real quick.
Low battery. Battery critical. Angle mode. Ignition off. Low battery. Battery critical. Angle mode.
Tyrannus in bind mode. Actually, hold on. I'm going to make a duplicate real quick. Okay, we're in bind mode. I've got this ready. I'm going to hold down the button. Okay, we've got a bind. Let go. Exit bind mode. Plug it back in. And we aren't bound. Oh wait, I did the wrong one. Hold on.
Low battery. Battery critical. Angle mode. Ignition off.
Yeah, this is right. Okay, sorry, my bad. There we go. That's what I like to see. Okay, now it's bound. We're good. Hello from the north side of Indy. Oh yeah, you want to do some flying this weekend, Inviting Sauce? Do you have something in the air right now?
Telemetry recovered.
Okay, back to clean flight to configure everything. Oh, you know what? I need to flash beta flight still. Disconnect. I guess I'll share my desktop here for a bit. Okay. I need to firmware flash, choose a firmware. No. Load firmware. I just downloaded the right hex file for this, I think this morning actually. Full chip erase, we need a manual baud rate of 1152. Okay, flash. Flashing, sweet. I would love to go, but I don't have the equipment to compete. Get some! Yeah, I mean, even if you just showed up, it would still be fun. Honestly, it's crazy to just watch quads fly around and the drama, and you know, you can help people fix stuff or learn stuff. Like, it's great. No race flight yet. I don't have any ESCs with 390 chips. Where and when? Find the Go Drone X Facebook group. I think it's like Chicago FPV Drone Racers or something like that. Okay, we got that. Hooking up, connecting ports. We need to turn on serial RX, save and reboot. Need to go to configuration. We want minimum throttle. I usually set it to 10, 50. I might tweak that because this won't have as good of a thrust to weight ratio as my normal ones. Set max throttle to 200. Front is normal, so we don't need to change that around. We have serial RX S bus, Black box on. Rest of that's fine. Set a cycle time of 500 because we have an F3 chip, so we can do that. PID tuning. I'm going to set this to 0.5. This is low from what I usually do, but I think that this quad, I don't know how this will handle. All right, we need this on this one for the Tyrannus. I'm going to save. Okay, check in. Yaw is correct, throttle is correct, roll is correct, pitch is correct. We're good there. I usually use an RC Expo of 0.8. Modes. Arm, I put on aux2 on a switch, which is there. Good. Don't need angle, don't need horizon. I'll put air mode across the whole thing. Put acro plus on high aux1, and I'll put black box on high aux3. I just know what these are, don't worry, you shouldn't have to follow along, it's fine. I don't need adjustments. Motors, we need to calibrate our ESCs. I'm a kid, I can only buy very cheap equipment, not FPV yet. Yeah, the FPV kit does get a little bit spendy. So, yeah, I understand the feeling. But you love the hobby. So I guess you spend a lot of time like checking out YouTube videos and all that fun stuff, which is great. You have come to the right place. I'm just restarting clean flight. Something went weird. Motors tab. I understand. Throttle up. Plug in battery. Wait for calibration. Grant call. I just got into FPV a few weeks ago and I love it. Awesome. You are hooked for life. I'll tell you right now. Okay, done with that. Disconnect. Pull this out. Leave it. I'm going to recycle the power quick. And if we arm. Seems to work. All right, let's put the top plate on for now, just to see what that's like. Weigh it, and give it a quick maiden here in the basement. Sans FPV. Maybe a little tray or something. Yeah, this will work. Owner of Multicopter Builders has been hooking up young people with parts. That's cool. I didn't know that. I'm young, right? Just kidding. I like this mounting hardware. This looks great. Oh, I'm still showing the desktop, aren't I? OBS. Ba-dum. Mrs. Zoomington wants to know when we get to meet Mrs. Fett. She came on for a few minutes one stream. I don't remember which one it was. Otherwise, I'd say I think it was the Mini Quad Bros build. She came in pretty late. and said hi. She's a nurse, so she works evenings, and so she's not usually here while I'm doing this build session, except once in a while. Jet lag is a pain. I don't suppose you could tell us where you are. There are a lot of standoffs on this thing. I've never been impressed by standoff hardware before. These screws are sweet looking. Like they're like full aluminum. They're all red. They're thick. They're M3. I think they could probably save some weight with them, probably. But you know, for now, I suppose we probably should put some props on first. Okay, that's that one. You still fly your QAV 180. I've got a 210. I'm trying to decide what to buy next. I'm intrigued by 180s. He's in Europe. Nice. I do not still fly my QAV 180. That's only because it is in parts right now. I swapped out all of my. Actually, it's cleared. I'm in Turkey. Okay. I swapped everything to a multirotor Superstore Frogger. What the? That's interesting. Why does that one fit on, but this one doesn't? That guy won't screw down all the way for some reason. That's weird. Just got a nylock here that I'm going to use instead. I think that was probably why it was vibrating so much. Ugh, I can't get that down either. Super strange. How about this one? Different brand of... Yeah, it won't go down far enough to catch. Like, I can spin the prop still independently of the shaft. It's super strange. Do you like those motors? Good quality. I've never used them before, but they seem to be nice. I've flown DYS my entire FPV career, I guess, and I still have some of my original ones, like the first motors I ever bought. I've still got some, so I have no problems with DYS whatsoever. This is so strange. What the heck? It's like this prop is smaller than the other one somehow. I don't have any other ones too, which could be a problem. What could I do? Am I an engineer? I write software for a living. Okay, hopefully that'll do it. Okay, next props. Sorry. Taking our sweet time here. Hopefully this fits on. Yep. Good enough anyway. This thing does look pretty sweet though, I'm not gonna lie. Paul, the props should have come with spacers, maybe that will work. I added the spacer, but it didn't increase the depth of the thing anymore. So I added 2 spacers, so this prop is actually a little bit higher than this one. I don't know if you can tell that. You can see how there's a spacer in there. So that made it bite, but for some reason I couldn't get any of the nylocks that I've got sitting here to bite on it, which is super weird. I've never had that happen before. I do a little coding myself. Awesome. Keep doing that. Forever. It you will never be without a job if you continue to program. Life pro tips with Boba Fett FPV. 'That looks right. I don't know where the battery strap was supposed to go. Probably already screwed that up, but we'll figure it out. %50 of your props are correct. That's the issue. Is that because only 50% of my props are orange, perhaps? Okay, there we go. That is a good looking little guy. Let's see. Weight. This is without FPV gear, remember, so take it with a grain of salt. I'll throw the FPV gear on top of it to see how much that's going to end up being. But yeah, it feels a lot more sturdy with the hardware in there, that's for sure. You still see it? There we go. Huh, that's lighter than I thought. 162.3 grams. Let me grab the FPV gear. There's the camera. And there's the VTXN antenna. So 168.5 grams. 196 grams. So that's not going to be under 250, which is the magic number for the FAA. Actually, we're probably still missing some stuff. So probably right around 200. Because the battery is going to be probably, a 4-cell is going to be probably around 100 grams, I think. But I mean, that's still pretty darn respectable. It's pretty sweet. So yeah, so let's see if this will fly. Yeah, I'm still not sure where the battery strap is supposed to go. Let me go find a 1300 milliamp a 3-cell. I gotta run up to the garage real quick. Sorry, be right back. That's a heavy cam, though. My 130 is 145 without battery, to put it into perspective. That's not bad. Flying garage instead of the living room? No, flying in the living room is half the fun of this live stream. Oh, you know what? I missed some standoffs. It looks like there's another set that's supposed to go right here. Honestly, I don't think it needs it, so I'm just gonna ignore it for now. Let's go underslung with the battery here. Actually, I should check what voltage this is at. Actually, I have no idea. Oof, that's low. Shoot. Where's the other one? Here. Okay, this one's a little better. Neither of these are fully charged, so that's kind of it's frustrating. So we won't get a good measurement of how it will perform. Okay. Powering up. Cool. All right. So make some space over here. Let me turn on another light here real quick. Guess that didn't really help much. So keep in mind that this battery is probably twice as big as it needs to be for this little quad. So don't judge the performance by this book, because this battery is definitely not the right battery. I plan to borrow some of the right kind for this as soon as possible. Okay. Transmitter.
Low battery. Battery
Where
critical.
is...
Angle mode. Ignition off. Ignition on.
Sorry, I can't find my neck strap. Alright, well. Okay. Here goes something.
Ignition off.
So yeah, so with this heavy battery, it it's basically like at the top of like the top 75% of the throttle. I don't know. Do I want to try a 4-cell on this thing? That seems like a bad idea. I mean, technically all the electronics support it. Let's give this a try. So yeah, so don't fly it with a 3-cell 1300 milliamp battery that does not have enough power in it. Not very much fun so far. But I'm going to borrow some more appropriately sized batteries soon and give it a real run for its money on the right size stuff. Okay, this should be more fun.
Telemetry recovered.
Okay, no smoke, we're good. Oop. Yeah, this thing is pretty stinking loud. The motors are a touch on the warm side, but that could be a tuning problem too, just as easily. They're running high kV, so that might also add to the problem. That one's hot. Yeah, that's the weird prop. That's hot. All the other ones are a nice, comfortable temperature. So I'll also buy some different 3-inch props too to make sure that that's not the problem. But yeah, this thing seems fine. I mean, the on 4 cell, it was definitely a lot more punch there. It wasn't amazing. I was doing full throttle pushes. The battery's not warm at all. I was doing full throttle pushes just to see if it would kind of jump to the ground. But it did a good job. So it'll be fun to get it much lighter with the right size battery. It's definitely going to be a 4-cell flyer, and then I got to get some different props. Apparently, these props are really, really not very good for 3-inch. They're just under propped, and these are these batteries or these motors are high torque and lower kV, so they like to have a little bit more bite on the air, and these 30-30 props will not get enough bite. If these were higher kV motors, having less bitey props would be good, but they are not. So that's kind of just the situation that it's in. But that's fine. So on Saturday, I will hopefully get some. We'll get the FPV gear installed, and I'll just kind of find a way to rig up some quad stuff, and zip it around outside my house here, because I think this would be a perfectly safe to kind of fly around my neighborhood, and it would be a blast. So I either forgot to put some of these in or they fell out. I'm not sure which. Looks like they fell out. So you might have to Loctite the frame down. So yeah, this is the Apollo 2. Saturday we'll finish it up and get some fun stuff happening outside. So this has been the FPV live stream, sponsored this week once again by DerbyCityDrones.com and Atmospheric-Adventures.com. We built the Atmospheric Adventures Apollo 2 frame. Tune in Saturday. I'll try to get some more information together on when that's going to be as soon as possible. You can check it out on thefpvhangout.com. No, thefpvlivestream.com. I'll be posting more information there as well as to my YouTube channel. But yeah, this is the Apollo 2 Atmospheric Adventures, running tri-blades on 5030. Also, thanks to Ready to Fly Quads for the flight controller. So yeah, so once again, if this was your first time stopping by, I hope that you had fun with it. I do this every week just to kind of be able to hang out. If you're returning, I'm so glad you're back. And if you're a vendor, let me know, and we'll get something like this happening for your products. But yeah, so once again, thank you everybody for stopping by. I hope that this was fun. I hope you learned something. I hope it was not super boring. But yeah, go check out atmosphericadventures.com and grab an Apollo 2 for yourself. Thanks, have a good night. I gotta figure out how to cancel, sorry. And there we go.